lately it's been feeling a lot like everything's trying to take our attention away, especially on the things that matter. Like one example, when you wake up, you instantly check your phone for any notifications, messages that you got, or maybe just big news in the world. And it's like from the moment you wake up, the first thing that happens is something is trying to take your attention away, and it's onto this fake world online. And one thing that I found out when I was actually in my ELA class in like 11th grade is that we now have shorter attention spans than a goldfish, which is insane to me. Like, really think about that for a second. Goldfish have higher attention span than humans. And it just feels like everything online is just constantly taking our attention away. Not even just online. Things like school, maybe like homework. Just, it feels like the world is just trying to take your attention away from things that actually matter in your life. And it feels like everywhere in the world where you look, there's just something that's leading into something else that's trying to get your attention away. Like you're watching a video, for example, which already has your attention, and then there's an ad break in the middle trying to pull you to something else. And then there's another ad break trying to pull you to something else. It's like there's so many different things that are trying to take our attention away from us. And recently it's been killing me. Like I feel like everything's just trying to take my attention away. There was a period of time where I like disconnected from social media completely, and like I felt so much peace, so much more calm than when I am now, because I'm following the most recent news that doesn't matter at all in my life. Like, yeah, sure, in a global scale, like, you know, this person's death had an effect on whatever, or this in politics matters, sure, but in my life I am not directly affected by these random things that just do not matter. And one of the big things from like social media now is just the constant comparison and the constant like pull into their life, which does not matter to us. Like, we're getting pulled into someone's life that is living a completely different life than us, and we're getting pulled into that from social media, and it's just taking our attention away. Like I said, from the good things that actually matter in our life that we should be doing. And there's this quote from I don't know who said it, but I heard it a while ago. Basically, attention goes where money flows, or money flows where attention goes. One of the ways. And it literally is completely true. If you think about like TikTok, for example, we'll just say TikTok. It's taking people's attention constantly, right? TikTok always has people's attention. And we look at things like TikTok Shop, which is literally just Amazon right next to where you scroll. You could just be scrolling on videos, and then you get an ad, another ad, like I was talking about. You get ads because they want you to spend money, and they want your attention on these things that just don't matter in our life. And these apps like TikTok are literally built to make us want to keep scrolling and stay on the app and keep our attention on the app. They don't want us going away and doing our own thing. No, they want us staying there and following their narrative. And I find moments where I'm completely disconnected, like I was talking about, maybe even just going on a walk or something. Those are the moments when I feel the most alive, instead of just scrolling away or just watching generally anything online. Like even this video, it feels like we're being programmed to pay attention to things that aren't going to affect our life at all. And it's going to make us into bots, like literal bots. Like, imagine having a shorter attention span than a goldfish. Like really think about that. Like, that is insane to me, how the average person, that means 50% average, 50% and below, have a shorter attention span than a goldfish. That is insane to me. Like, that is crazy how normal it is to have that, especially for such a thing that humans have like such a finite time of which is time. We have such a finite amount, and these big companies are trying to take it away from us and focus on things that don't matter. And this constant dopamine overload of just information online and stuff literally brings us into a cycle of wanting more, because our dopamine receptors are getting low, like are getting weaker and weaker. We need more dopamine to keep us at baseline, basically keep our brain happy. So the constant cycle of scrolling and scrolling and scrolling just becomes more and more and more the more you do it. The more you put attention into this thing, the more you're going to do it in the long run. And with all the information that we're seeing constantly that is being shoved down our throats, literally, makes it hard to care about things deeply. It makes it hard to care about your favorite hobby or your sport or whatever, because there's so much other things to focus on, quote unquote, focus on now, with all the information that you've gotten that's pulling your attention this way. Now you want to focus on that more. And another thing is like the fear of missing out. People think that by disconnecting from their social media apps that they're going to miss out on everything in the world. And they're thinking like the world's going to end basically if they don't have their phone. They don't have information that they're getting from online. They think their world is over. Like, it's just so untrue. It's crazy how much they've been programmed into giving these companies their attention. They've been programmed that much that they can't live without it anymore. They think it's inconceivable to live without a phone or constant news or constant information being brought into us over and over again, daily, hourly. One thing I want to ask you is, have you ever been in your bed late at night and then it's like out of nowhere your brain starts thinking about everything and you just can't sleep because your brain is just nonstop thinking? My brain is doing that because it hasn't had the time to do it the whole day. The whole day you've been feeding it information over and over again, over and over and over again, feeding it information the whole day that it has so much to process at the end that it literally can't shut down because there's just so much information that it has to think about. And now that you put your phone down, it has time to process it, and hence why you can't sleep, because there's just so much that you've put into your brain that day to process. I'll give you one personal example is when I would play like a video game, I would have friends who, when you're waiting on a loading screen, for example, they can't sit still and just wait for literally maybe 20 seconds at the most. They have to pull out their phone and scroll in between that time. And that is like crazy to me. That used to be like insane to me. How people couldn't sit still for 20 seconds waiting for a literal video game. You're already getting so much dopamine from the video game. You need more in between the waiting times to load into another game. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy how much we've been programmed into wanting it that bad. That's crazy. And then to end this video off, I'll just say like a few things that helped me with my attention span, as well as disconnecting just as a whole, because like I said, you just get too much information that you just don't need, and you get too many inputs about people's lives that you just don't need to know. Some things that helped me was going on a walk with no distraction, like no music, no audio playing in your ears, no headphones, basically. No going on your phone. Just go on a walk. That's it. Literally just try going on a walk where it's just your brain and moving. That was genuinely, like, every time I go on a walk, I feel so like calm and peaceful after. Like, it helps so much. Another thing is just deleting the apps on your phone, which is really weirdest thing. Like, I would when I first deleted it, I remember pulling my phone out of my pocket like midday at school, and I wanted to scroll, and I realized the app wasn't there, and I was like pissed. I was like, oh my god. And then put the phone back down, and then you do the same thing like 20 minutes later. That's how much programming was done to not even just me, everyone. So just delete the apps on your phone, man. It's so simple, but it helps so much. It helps so much. I promise it does. And then the fear of missing out thing I was talking about, you're going to feel like you're missing out on so much stuff when I promise you, your life is not going to change either way. Either way, unless your job is literally based on it, on the information someone is giving you online, your life is not going to change, dude. You're not, I promise. And then lastly, one huge thing, this is probably the biggest one, is it's going to sound like cringy to some people, but meditation. I know it sounds like really cringy to some people, like they thinking like they're doing this on a floor and like doing yoga. No, that's not what meditation is. Meditation is literally closing your eyes without moving and then just breathing for, you could do as long as you want. Right now I do like 5 minutes daily. You literally sit down and you breathe and you just try to think about your breath. One thing you can do is count from 1 is like when you breathe in, and then 2 as you exhale, 3, 4, and you go up to 10, and then when you get to 10 you go back to 1, and you do that for like 5 minutes. Set a time on your phone. Doing that daily helped my mental clarity so much. It helps me make decisions so much easier, especially after you feel great after. And it just helps, like, all those 3 things just help you learn to be comfortable with doing nothing sometimes. I know it's hard between video games to not want to just pull out your phone and scroll for the 30 seconds you're loading into a game. I know it's hard when you're in the bathroom taking a shit, or you're just taking a piss and you're just scrolling. I know it's hard. It was hard as fuck for me at first, but it literally helps me so much. These 3 things that at the end helped me so much. And to end this off, I'm just curious, like, when was the last time you sat down without your phone, without any distractions, no music, no audio in your ears, no headphones, just sat down and thought for like 15 minutes with no distractions? When was the last time you did that? I know my answer before I started fixing my attention span and stuff like that. Probably never. The only time I would do anything close to that was when I would want to go to sleep. And even then, some people scroll when they go to sleep, which is crazy. I used to do that too. I'm so glad I stopped because you need sleep so bad. Yeah, I'm curious what your answers are. I really am. But yeah, I just wanted to change your perspective on it. Hopefully help someone. Love y'all. See you tomorrow.